Spatchcock Funk is in the house, our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need is the people you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk. Dope food, strong drinks, great stories. Family matters. For the Spatchcock family, spending some quality time with that crew we were born into or chose really picks us up, and it usually leads to the type of shenanigans that we love to start. The best shot for quality time is find something fun to do together, right? And get it on the reg, fam. Do it on the regular. Now, you go to the farmer's market, have a cook like my mom and I do. Maybe go out and hit the nightclubs or some strip clubs because we don't judge. And for us, it's hitting those clubs too. Golf clubs, baby. Swinging them things, fresh air, a little competition.
Dude, you got a swing?
Just lining things up perfectly, setting it right, and just let it fly. This is the 19th hole. Before we tee it up, we like teeing up a cocktail. On the golf course, there's a lot of classic ones that we love to get down with. There's the Transfusion, pretty solid drink. Of course, your classics, the Bloody Marys, the Mimosas, those work too. We even enjoy a John Daly, which is an Arnold Palmer, half lemonade, half iced tea, shot of vodka. For our money though, when we're gonna play golf on a treacherous course or spend some time with some family, we might need a drink to smooth the nerves. And for us, it's the 1-iron. Now that's a club we can't hit, most people can't. And the great Lee Trevino once said about this cocktail and the club, only 2 people on earth can hit a 1-iron, Jack Nicklaus and God. And neither of those dudes are here right now, so we're gonna make a drink in their honor. The first thing we're gonna add in is about 1.5 ounces, you know what, maybe 2 ounces if your family's a little crazy, of vodka, then some grapefruit sparkling soda water. This drink is refreshing. Whether it's hot in the course or your game kind of cools off, this feels great before the round or after in the clubhouse. Now, sometimes you want a little spike of some tartness, like a good hard joke, or your family's got some spiciness to it. What we like is a splash of cranberry juice. Give it some nice color too. Nice little stir. And like our boy Nick taught us, a great garnish, obviously the garnish classic is a lime wedge, but on a golf tee, right? Because if you can't hit it off the tee, at least you can drink one later. So here's to a round with family, a round with friends, and getting around a great drink. It's good, bro. When we're golfing or hanging out with family, a dip can bring us together, kind of like we're all circling the green. I'm not talking a dip like Alex's swing, because he dips his shoulder a little too much, but rather a dip we can really get after. So this dip is the masters of dips for us. It's pimento cheese. But like any good dip, like any good golfers get a caddy. I'm not good enough for a caddy, but this one is. So the caddy for us is gonna be crostinis to dip it into it. Crostinis we make all the time. We love them. And what we make is a basting oil. And this type of basting oil is something you should have on hand. It's an easy trick to make. This is about a couple cups of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, because we like our virgins extra. A couple scoops of minced garlic right out of the jar, and some couple tablespoons of Italian seasoning, stuff cut out of the garden, like some chives. Keep stirring it, and we're gonna baste some French baguettes that we've got, cut about a 1/2 inch or so. Now you can use this though as a basting oil for vegetables to grill, for fish. Also great for just dipping great fresh bread into. So it's a great little trick to have on hand, and we use it all the time. We're gonna baste both sides, put them in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes, flip them halfway through, and check them every few minutes or so. Our favorite dip, maybe in the whole world, but definitely around the golf world, is Pimento Cheese Dip. And there's a few reasons for that. Primarily, it's famous because of the Masters, the ultimate golf tournament. We all know what that is, the granddaddy of them all, the whole 9. It is a beautiful dip, and that's great, but it's great around families, and it's one of those things that brings everybody together, and this cheese brings me together too. So we're gonna teach you a few cheese tricks and a few pepper tricks too that really matter. When we're making a good cheese dip, a lot of dips will have cream cheese as an ingredient. Leave it out for room temperature stuff, and that gives you a really good, nice base throughout things. So we have that in there too. Next, we're gonna put in a bunch of shredded, mild white cheddar cheese. And usually we like it sharp, but we wanna have a lot of contrasting flavors here. Then we're gonna add in some Asiago cheese, smoked or not's fine, with the smoked here. Finally, we've got more cheddar, but this is yellow, sharp, orange cheddar, right? The best way to shred cheese, not buy it bagged shredded, buy the block, because you shred it, you get more bang for your buck actually, but way better flavor. There's no additives and it really adds to the whole party and makes things a lot better. Now, another binding agent in a lot of dips, it's a killer ingredient, is mayonnaise. A lot of people don't like mayonnaise as it stands, but they love dishes that have it in there. Now the pimentos, we've got those. You buy them in jars this size, but take paper towels and drain them. We don't want all that oil in here. But the pimento is a nice, sweet little pepper that gets you where you want to go. But it's not the only pepper that we use. We also add in pepper dews. Pepper dews have a nice little sweet tanginess with a little bite at the end, and it really kind of like adds a little spice to it, but not like hot spice, but flavor spice. We put that in here too. Then we add in some granulated garlic, onion powder, cayenne pepper. Now, a lot of dishes we put some heat into and you're like, it's gonna be too spicy. You will never taste the heat in that, but the heat brings out all the fatty goodness and sweetness in this. It really makes it sing. Dash of salt and pepper. Secret ingredient for us, crushed pecans. So now we just do the best part, and that's mixing everything up. But let me tell you something about why the Masters means a lot to me. You might not know this, but actually in the amateur tournament, I won it twice. No, just playing. But golf is one of those things that any activity you can bring people together with is awesome. My father-in-law, who passed away, this great dude, Jim Crockett, loves watching golf, loves playing it. And he's a great man, but maybe not the greatest golfer, but still great to be around. So the Masters, Father's Day, watching the US Open was his really big days. And my sister-in-law, Diana, took him to Augusta for a Masters. And it's like, maybe besides the birth of his daughters, which was super important, his wedding day was important, and then my wedding day was maybe his favorite day, this might be the best day ever. And every time I would see him, you knew you were gonna have a good time and he was ready to roll and really party it up and laugh if he was wearing the shirt he got at Augusta. I remember walking to a bar at one point, seeing him wearing that shirt and just be like, all right, my man's ready to go. So as we're getting this dip ready to go, you want to just keep evenly mixing it until it seems that combination of the orange, white cheddar and all those peppers become this kind of blurry, beautiful mess. We got our crostinis out of the oven, all golden brown, just like my golf game, and we mix it up right. Sir Mix-a-Lot will be proud. So here's some tips. When mixing a dip, make sure the cream cheese, you can no longer see it. That's tip number one. Tip number two, when chipping, keep your feet aligned with the flag. Tip number two. Tip number three, don't forget your mom's birthday. And make sure next time you see her, make this dip. Masterful dip for some masterful people. We got a family match coming up, so we got some guys we're playing with that put us in diapers, and we're gonna put the boots to them. So we're putting in the work right now, fixing our swing with a pro at the driving range.
Hey guys.
What's up, man?
Sean Dady.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for the help, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
You got your work cut out today. with
I don't know
Matt.
about that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
All right, balance.
Yep.
Two things will help that. Get your feet closer together. Less knee flex.
I can't even beat this tee though. That's the problem.
A little better.
Here you go.
Yeah, I did lean, I did feel it.
Still back. You love to fall back.
You know what?
Pose like you can do a bat flip, dude.
What about power?
Power. When you swing a driver, you should never feel strong, because it's
Then you're set. You're good.
You want speed.
Yep.
Know the difference? Like with strength or hitting the golf ball or hard, we tend to flex our muscles, strength, and we don't release the club.
Yep.
Right.
Right. So we want more speed. So it's more of a
Like an easy.
right. This.
Yep.
And you need to feel that as well. So now where's your weight? Left leg?
Left leg.
That's right
Left
leg.
leg.
And your hand, both arms are extended. So then as you continue to finish, continue to swing, there you go. Now you're posted on your right foot, posted on your left foot, facing the target, as opposed to
This.
this.
It feels a lot better.
It does. So what's my main takeaway?
So the main thing for you watching you, again, pretty athletic, obviously baseball.
Let's just stop there.
Baseball's still ingrained. We got to learn, you got to learn how to get off your right side.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest help. And part of that would be that setup that we talked about, getting your feet a little closer together.
What about this guy?
You're a hybrid. Kind of the same thing. A lot of strength.
Minus
can
the
hit
athleticism.
it, right? We just got to, again, a little more turn through the ball.
Yeah.
Same thing we talked about, strength versus speed.
Yep.
I think you're a little too strong in your forearms as you come through.
Just in your
to hit the ball,
forearms.
right? Right. We have to have a little more of a little more rotation.
Yep.
A little more, what I would say, speed through the bottom.
Sure.
Or through the ball as opposed to striking and hitting.
Yep.
It's almost like you stop after you make contact.
Yeah, yeah.
Where we want to create that
More
swing
fluid motion.
all the way through. Right.
Love it.
Yep. Yep.
Man, listen, you've been super helpful.
My pleasure. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it has been. When you're golfing, there's a hot dog that turns, always a great feeling for us, but a killer sandwich takes it a step further. And one of our favorite things about one of our favorite cities, the great Rochester, New York, is the garbage plate. And we've turned that into a sandwich. That's how we turn nice little shots into things going on there, how a mom and a daddy turn into a family. Like, this is how things go, and this is making something special, and we love it. The garbage plate, if you don't know, all right, was originally started by a guy named Alexander Tahoe, and he called it, his restaurant I think was West Main, Texas Hots. Later his son Nick took it over, so it's Nick Tahoe's, but there's a bunch of restaurants in Rochester that make the garbage plate. And what it consists of typically is a plate that has 2 pieces of white bread, a really good mac salad or macaroni and cheese, hot dogs, some hamburgers, a cheese sauce, bunch of stuff, onions, French fries. It goes the right way and it goes hard. So does this dish. So we get a pound of cooked elbow macaroni. We've got a mixture of mostly mayo, some sour cream, and some maple syrup that we put in there. A nice little sweetness into it. So I'm gonna put that in there. Got some celery chopped up, some shallots, yellow pepper for some cool color, red bell pepper for some cool color. Finally, garlic powder and a touch of salt and pepper. Just give it a good mix and set it aside. The killer ingredient, I mean the creme de la creme of the garbage plate sandwich or any garbage plate, is the hot meat sauce. And this is how it's done. Now, this recipe, we want to protect the lives of the person that gave it to us and our own. So we can't give up who gave it to us or where they worked. But let me tell you something, we crave this stuff. Put in some butter in the pan, then add in a bunch of white onion, coarsely chopped, and cook them until they're soft. Here comes the water, which is like a flavor distributor later on. So we're gonna add that into the onions. Then we're gonna add in a pound of ground beef, 80-20, and start breaking it up immediately with your spatula and start stirring it up. And then we're gonna let that thing go for 10 minutes. For consistency, for our sauce, a can of tomato sauce, and then stir it up and keep stirring that for a few minutes. Let's add some Worcestershire, a little bite for it, give that a stir. Gonna add in some onion powder, garlic powder, a little more sweetness too, some paprika. And one of the things that makes this like that Skyline chili in Cincinnati is the allspice. Now here comes the heat course. And on our crew, a lot of us like spicy stuff. Alex used to love spicy stuff, but now it hurts his tums. So we gotta be careful when we serve it for him. But we're gonna put in some cayenne pepper, chili powder, and a whole bunch of crushed red pepper. We're gonna stir this up, and now you're gonna get the smell of it. You're gonna feel that really nice heat coming out. And then we're gonna let this thing simmer on medium to medium low for an hour. Ooh, we're getting so close, just like that birdie putt I left short on the third. We're just gonna take a couple pieces of lightly toasted toast, and we are gonna take some really good sharp cheddar cheese, and we're gonna throw them in the oven at 350 until they melt up good. We've got this awesome, cheesy, beautiful piece of bread all toasted up. The thing on the bottom, the base of this beautiful baby, just like in a great garbage plate, is that mac salad we made, and that melted cheese is gonna just stick right in there. Now, similar to the hot dogs, the garbage plate, is a good old beautiful piece of fried bologna that we crisped up. Hit that, a little bit of mustard. And simulating the beautiful ground beef burgers, we got some Kobe beef we're gonna put on that thing. And now comes that awesome meat sauce we made. Now there's some heat to it like we said, but it's gonna be balanced out with all the other flavors in this beautiful sandwich. Finally, just like on a regular garbage plate, we got some fresh white onions. Add some more crunch to it. Now garbage plates a lot of times have French fries on them or home fries. To do that for the sandwich, we're using some good old wavy potato chips. One of our directors, Jeremy, this is his idea and it's beautiful. Get some chips on there, get that crunch, get that potatoes going. And now, we are ready to party. Ooh, man, this is beautiful. Originally, it was called the White Hot Plate, and then some college kids, I guess in the 70s or 80s, were like, give me that plate with all the garbage on it. And man, I wouldn't call it garbage, I would call it art. For tomorrow, we can wrap this thing up. Foil can be served cold, but I gotta get into it right now. Squish it down a little bit, give me some chips. Garbage plate sandwich is a winner every time. At the end of a round of golf or a family picnic, nothing better than a great sweet treat. And today we've got cookies, y'all. And these cookies aren't just your regular cookies, not for amateurs. This is the PGA. It stands for peanuts, ganache, and almonds. Also a golf league you might have heard of too. But it's the great surprise, the great ending, the great championship trophy of a great round of golf or some good family time. Our homie and partner in crime, Ariel, she gave us this recipe, and we're gonna start out though by adding in 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of cake flour, cake. 1 cup of crushed, unsalted roasted peanuts, 1.5 teaspoons baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons baking soda, and then a small pinch of salt. And mix it up. Now, every recipe usually has a little secret ingredient, or someone's got that special club in their bag, like my 56 wedge, or the black sheep in Alex's family, but there's always something a little bit different that makes things cool, interesting, and quirky. This is chilled brown butter. We took 2 sticks of butter and melted it over low heat for 10 minutes, kept stirring it until it got brown and nutty. I just want to eat it like a candy bar right now. Threw it in the fridge for about a half hour, and then pulled it back out so it's just beautiful brown unsalted butter. Put that into the mixing bowl first. Now, you know I like things sweet. We're gonna put in 3/4 of a cup of white granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of tightly packed brown sugar. Then we're gonna mix it on medium for about 2 minutes. We've got our sugar and our beautiful, luxurious brown butter all mixed up. So now we're gonna add in our wet ingredients. So we've got 2 tablespoons of pure almond extract, and it took me forever to try to squeeze all of that out, so we just bought some instead. And then we're gonna put in 2 cold eggs just out of the fridge. Mix again for 2 minutes on medium. Lower your bowl, and we're gonna add in our dry ingredients. So mix it on medium again for 2 to 3 minutes maybe, and keep pushing it down with your spatula until you see that dough start to really form. Yeah, this dough is looking right. We're gonna take it and get it into a big old ball, because I'm making people ball on a golf course tomorrow. But this is the fun part, right? And just form it into a good size ball, getting as much of the dough in as you can. Then we're gonna put it back into our mixing bowl. Now it just goes in the fridge to sit for an hour. All the fats solidify and really starts to blend the flavors together. We took all that dough and rolled them into 24 golf balls. We're gonna throw them in the oven at 375 for 14 minutes. We took about 1.5 cups of white chocolate chips and 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream and heated them up together until we got this kind of ganache that we're gonna drizzle across each one in little stripes. The PGA, welcome aboard, baby. We got our card, we got our cookies. This is how you do it. Great for families, great for golf courses. This tastes like how it feels when you sink a big putt.
Man, what a great round of golf.
Yeah, good people, good family, a couple drinks. You know, one of my favorite people to golf with and to drink with is my Uncle Charlie. His older, would you say better looking brother?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Taller.
Maybe a half inch.
Okay.
It's not much to be taller than you.
You know what though? We're big where it counts. You know what I mean? So what we're talking about though is Charlie, great to golf with. My Aunt Joanne too, but he likes to play pranks on me in particular. And he'll always sneak in like a trick ball, like an exploding golf ball or something like that. You know what I mean?
What's that?
So it's like a compressed bunch of powder, and when you smash and like, you know, the massive torque I put on the ball, it explodes and there's powder everywhere.
That's probably why he gives it to you. He knows you can break it.
He knows I'm gonna destroy it. We were out the night before and I got pretty destroyed a little bit, I think, and I'm a little groggy going through the airport, and it sets off the TSA x-ray machine, and I'm like, what is going on
You were
there?
solo?
Yeah, Stephanie had left the day before, and I
I
had
would have loved Stephanie to be there.
Oh man, I was like, I don't have any weapons or sex toys or anything there. What would set this thing off? And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it's gotta be an exploding golf ball. So I'm like, hey, it's an exploding golf ball. They just hear the word exploding and whip around. And I'm like, it's not a bomb. So now I'm getting such an up close and personal check. Like, I mean, it was like they were checking my temperature. You know what I mean? It was aggressive. So, you know, I'm a little irritated. So I call Charlie, and of course, instead of him like, oh, I'm so sorry, he was like, that's awesome. Oh, God.
You knew what it was?
Yeah, but Fate got him back, so thanks, Fate. We were playing golf at Bobby's wedding, I think.
Bobby's wedding, yeah.
All right, so me and Joanne and him are there. He tees off and smashes the ball in the water in this little par 3. He's like, you guys might have hit another shot, and I'm opening a beer. I'm like, do what you want. So we're talking, and we hear him swing, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, shit. And we're like, what happened? Lose another one? Kind of like you did today a little bit. So that's why they're brothers. It just runs in the family. So we go around there, and I'm looking in the sand trap. There's no ball, and he looks in the hole, and it's in the hole. Now, Joanne, I didn't mention, has had 5 hole-in-ones, and they play all the time, and Charlie's had 0. So I'm like, this is your day, oh my God. And he's like, no, it doesn't count. It's a mulligan. I'm like, it counts. You know, last thing in the clubhouse. So we go in the clubhouse. Guy was so irritated. He was like, looking at us, and he's like, hey, what do you call a hole-in-one and a mulligan? And the guy said, par. And Charlie hung his head in dejection. And
It's still impressive, though.
I mean, it
How
is.
far was this hole?
Probably like $140. If you ask him,
mean,
it's like 280.
It's impressive. I'll take it.
It's impressive no matter
It's
what,
not going
but-
to win the battle with Joanne. But
Yeah, you know what? Joanne didn't count it, and I guess that's what matters.
she, of course not.
You know what?
5 hole-in-ones, though.
5
Come
hole.
on.
It's unreal.
I would take one of those all day.
I mean, I would too.
I would
but
take a par
You know what?
all day.
You didn't take any today, so
no,
you know.
no.
But you know what? We had a good time today too. No hole-in-ones, but I think it still counts.
I was close, though. I had a solid putt.
You did have a solid pot. It was a
Roll the
highlight.
tape.
Beautiful. Being about the people we love is what we're all about, even if some of us can't stay out of the water hazard.
You lost like 10 balls today.
Okay, so the biggest hazard you're ever gonna face is not getting that time with the people you love the most. So find the time. It can be a tea time, a cup of tea, or anything that tees up some good times together. Because look, man, time is the most valuable thing you got, so make sure you spend it wisely. Take the time to make time for your people. Take a swing at being around them, because you never know how long they're gonna be around. Even if you end up in the rough, you're still in it to win it.